Everybody's got a price.
Hello and welcome to the Sharp Bastard Fantasy Sets, Week 10 of the NFL season. I'm your host, Nick. Alongside us, Tim and Sir, our regulars, and our pseudo-regular, who always pops on, Mr. TruExact himself with a giant D on his head. Scott, how we doing?
Well, it's just a normal Friday for me. It's cocktail. I'm doing well. Yeah, I was in Florida. Got some tan. Came back and yeah, I did. I get the Polish side of me, so I don't get too tan. But I came back and watched the Cowboys get obliterated. It was a humbling game, and then sort of okay with it.
So yeah, we were gonna talk about that during the round table, but what's up?
Can we just point out how excited we were for all of our teams last week about how good they looked, and boy, does 1 week make all the difference.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, my team was the closest to winning, so I feel like
get your fucking participation award.
Congrats.
Well, anyway, this is Sharp Bets and Fantasy Sets, and you can find us on, there you go, sir, with the plug. Find us on Twitter, on Twitch, at SBFS Show. We're also, all of our shows are on YouTube, airing on Saturdays. On YouTube, under the TruExact header. Scott, I know you were promoting some of the same shows. Do you have anything new coming down the line for your shows?
My shows, I'm actually going to have on a childhood friend who I recently saw fought in UFC Fight Pass in Jiu-Jitsu, Cody Hamra, a couple weeks ago. So I messaged him, and I messaged him. I was like, oh, man, on. So, yeah, we're going to get him on next week. I mean, we've known each other since we were 7 years old. We were on Little League together and Babe Ruth and pretty much anything. So that's cool. And I know Freddie's working with a couple of the guests I had on. He's going to have on Nino Bless on a wrestling show, Battle Rap League runner Lex Luthor is going to be coming on as well. So Freddie's continue just chugging along, and I respect him for it, man. Like he does what he's doing it. So
I think he signed up for one of them dating sites after Nick fucking blew his spot up last week. Some cold-blooded shit right here.
Listen, if you've ever seen him in person, he's a stud. I see him at my job from time to time. So, okay, so those are the shows, and we can start with the recap of last week, and we'll motor through it quickly. I missed most of the pre-show, so I don't know if you guys brought it up, but, sir, I mean, you were facing a backup quarterback.
I don't want to talk about it.
At least you went to the worst one first. That is just unfortunate.
Yeah. Is it the worst one, though? I mean, I faced Jay. I was literally beating somebody in fantasy, and they happened to have Devontae Parker in their lineup, and they benched him because he obviously wasn't playing. So they put in James Conner. I was like, oh, great, James Conner. You know, this is going to be easy.
Boy, was it not easy, Nick.
No, not easy at all. 3 touchdowns later, and 43 fantasy points later, I lost in grand fashion by 10. So,
oh, that's a big time rip. I went 9-0 in fantasy, so
I hate that so much.
Why?
There's just so many leagues to worry about. Like, it's crazy. But Nick, you asked if that was the worst. Yes, it was. Not pertaining to fantasy football. Yes, that was the worst loss out of all 4 of us, without a doubt.
I would say for me, my worst loss would not have been the Eagles' loss. It was the loss of the Buffalo Bills to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the reason, because we mentioned 50 people left in my survivor pool. 42 of the 50 people took either Dallas or Buffalo. And I think the thing that hurts the worst is I'm in it with a partner, and I kicked the tires with him on taking Indianapolis against the Jets, and he turned me down, referencing that the Jets were hot at the moment. I mean, they did just come off a win, but
to his defense, though, when Mr. White was in the ball game, they had a lead and they were looking well, and then
They never had the lead.
or no, but they looked all right though. They looked all right with him out there.
They scored a
And then
touchdown, but
he hurt his
nobody,
wrist and-
they were never going to stop Indianapolis's offense.
And
but they were going to put up some more points, and you never know. Anything could happen.
yeah,
They put up a
As soon
ton
as he
of
went
points.
down, see you later.
there's a road team going to Indianapolis on a short week too, Nick. That might have been your best bet. That's why it's better to cough up the extra $50 and just go in yourself. I mean, honestly, it is because you never second guess yourself.
Yeah.
But it's always fun to win money with a friend. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if they win, if they take the whole thing down, you get to celebrate together. Something about winning with your friends.
You win with your buddy, you can go to the bar afterwards.
Yeah, but if you lose because your buddy said to pick someone else, it's more depressing than winning the money with your friend.
Then he should be
Win-
paying
win
a bar
together,
tab
lose
that's
together,
worth
James.
more than $100 entry fee. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the team that we mutually agreed on, and I don't want to put it on him, we mutually agreed, is we agreed on Buffalo beating the 1 and whatever Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, it's not a bad pick. Like, you went out swinging. It is what it is. You know?
It wasn't a bad pick. It was a
just goes
bad
back to the
result.
fact that survivor pools are pure luck.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
Thank
agree
you. Thank you.
there's a skill involved. We all have a mutual friend who always went with the mantra, and it would have worked this past week. Never pick a road team and never pick a division game. And it would have worked, if I had followed that process.
I agree on the road games, not so much, but the division games, I completely agree on. Don't pick division games because those teams are built. No matter how bad they are built to beat everybody else in the division.
It's always a bad.
Unless they're facing the Jets. Then you that goes out the window.
So, I mean, that was probably my worst loss. Truth be told, I didn't even get to watch the Eagles game. But their defense is just atrocious. So it'll be interesting to see. The only thing I can hope for is that Indianapolis continues to win so that the Eagles can get 3 top 10 picks, or at least 3 top 15. Right now, 3 top 10. But time will tell. Scott. One game missed by Dak Prescott comes back, doesn't look great. I wouldn't put it all on him, but a lot of it was on him. Missed CeeDee Lamb on a would-be touchdown. Just didn't look good. 2 times. Worried, not worried. I personally would not be worried. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you're not going to win every game. These are the one clinkers in the schedule that are just like, all right, you chalk it up. You just got your doors blown off. You got beat. Like, it is what it is. It's a best game to lose out of conference game. It really ultimately will mean nothing in a tiebreaker scenario if it comes down to a seeding. So, yeah, get this one out of the way. Come back. You got Atlanta this week, and then you got Kansas City. So going into that Thanksgiving game, you could be 7-3 if you split these next 2. And with this division, I mean, 10 wins is going to do it. So at that point, you just go 3-4 down the stretch. I don't care about seeding. I don't think it matters anymore in any sports. I truly don't. I think any team can beat any team. I think the top 5 teams in the NFC will all have chances to get to the Super Bowl. So, yeah, if Dallas has to go to Tampa, go to Green Bay, bring it on. I mean, what could you do? So no, I'm not worried. I'm more annoyed at Giants fans once again. Like, they call up these stations around here, and it's like, this is Dallas's chance. They're starting to fall. We could just shut up. My God, you would think they win the Super Bowl every time they win a fucking game, and they'll be losing again. And this is all too familiar. They're not a good team. The division stinks. That's just what it is. Also, Nick, with the Eagles, I have to ask, what is it with these quarterbacks having 31 of 34, 27 of 31 versus you guys? They're not missing any passes.
Well, like I said, it's the defense is terrible. I mean, there's a lot. Derek Barnett, who obviously, if you're an Eagles fan, you love Derek Barnett for recovering the strip sack fumble from Brady in Super Bowl 52. But Derek Barnett has been awful with the offsides call. Darius Slay didn't look great. Their defense is atrocious, but that's nothing new. I mean, it seems like the Eagles' defense is terrible year in and year out. If the front 7 doesn't get to the quarterback, the cornerbacks, the defensive backs are just dreadful. And it just continues to be like that. So, as an Eagles fan, I just enjoy watching the rookie players, or at least the second-year players, Jalen Hurts, stuff like that. Nick Sirianni looks like he's coming back next year, so it is what it is. There's nothing I could say there. But I'm just enjoying the young players and hoping that they use those draft picks on some great defensive players, since it doesn't look like there's any quarterbacks available or good in at least the top 5 of what I've seen for the next year's pre-draft. So I don't know. Tim, Jets, anything on them?
No, just real quick. I gotta hit. I want to hit Scott with something.
Because I'm fired at Scott too. So go ahead, boy.
Oh, thanks.
Scott, are you a little bit worried? Your defense seems to be but they're all or nothing. Either they're going to pick the ball off or they're going to give up a giant play.
The reason I say no is because every team I feel is like that now. Like, there's really no great defenses anymore. You're going to give up points. You're going to give up yards. I think if you could hold a team to 24 points in this league, that's good enough to win. So no, I'd rather have the big takeaways that turn into points than not. If I'm because I've never had a good defense as a Dallas Cowboy fan in my life.
Bet the Dallas overs and bet against Dallas in DFS. Got it. Just make it sure.
All right. So 3 things there, Scott. One, first of all, you said the Giants.
Sure, it's only an hour show, sir. So
you said Giant fans are delusional.
Yes.
Pot kettle. Have you seen the Cowboy fans, bro? Delusion is all hell.
But I don't live around many. I listen to sports radio locally in New York, so I hear the Giant fans more.
I usually go to bars on Sundays and a bunch of Cowboy fans, and all they do is talk nonsense. So it's there. All right. Second,
Cowboy fans will disappear when they're bad. I agree with that.
All right. Second of all, you said 10 wins could win this division.
Yes.
Man, 8 wins could win this division. What are you talking about?
I was being nice.
Man, no, bump that, bro. Nah, 8 wins. Let's be honest.
I agree.
And third, can we give some credit to the OG Vic Fangio? Man, come on.
Yeah.
That brother, he's been coaching defense for about 100 years. Ain't no shame on getting cooked by old boy.
I'll say this. When a team, we've all been there, you could tell when there's a swinging play. The Cowboys took the opening kick, ran it past midfield. Right there, you're fired up. They go for it on a 4th down. They get stuffed. At that moment, as a Cowboy fan, you're just like, this is not – it's one of those games. This is just not happening. You just felt the momentum, the air come out. So
I'm just saying, Vic Fangio's been coaching football for about 100 years. That's not what I'm saying.
I'm not mad about it. Listen, the Cowboys have lost 7 straight games to the Broncos. The Broncos own them. There's nothing I can even say about this.
They should have been up 6-0.
Yeah.
Regardless, that would have made a huge difference in the game. And shout out to our South Pembroke Fire Department fam. They were down there. They have season tickets. They were at the game. Mike Kelly said, my one friend Bob, if he goes this week and they don't win, they were 0-4, 0-5 when he attended games. He said if they lose this time, he's never taking them again. So you could next time they go, Scott, we'll put a more, as we like to say, we'll put a mortgage payment on the Cowboys, and they'll take it home.
Maybe he just
against the Cowboys.
No, for the Cowboys, because Bob's not allowed to go anymore. Bob is done. He's out. Crew is going. They're gonna take it home.
Fair enough. If you, Tim, don't have anything on the Jets, the one thing I'd mentioned from last Thursday's game, and of course you guys played on Thursday, was that we absolutely smashed our prop bets for that game. And I don't know about you guys, but I got 5 that I feel pretty good about, and I got 1 dark horse that will hit towards the end of the show, and I'm sure you guys have yours as well. 2 quick points I want to run through before we get to the picks. Just rapid fire. First, with the signing now at this point of Odell Beckham going to the Rams or the Bucks, who has the better 3 receiver sets when healthy?
I would be more scared of the Rams, but I mean I don't know how Beckham's gonna play. I don't know. I pick the Rams personally, but I could see an argument for either.
I say Tampa strictly because Tom Brady. Tom Brady makes anybody look good. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Stafford's been playing good too. This is just
I understand.
They match up.
In New England, Tom Brady was taking Wes Welker, Danny Amendola, and Drew Edelman, making them. Now he's got Antonio Brown, Godwin, Mike Evans. He's upgraded, but it's still Tom Brady.
Real receivers, yeah.
No, I know, but
it's
quarterback matters when you have your receivers.
Listen, it's Tampa, and I have the Rams to win the Super Bowl in a bet. So, by all means, I want that to work. I want Odell to pretend he's still got his frosted tips and he's in New York, and Eli Manning's throwing ducks up and he's catching the ball for 80 yards on touchdown. But I can't promise that that's going to happen. I've lost to Tom Brady enough to know that that's the guy I go with.
I think I just put Odell in that, like, he fits McVay's system if it works beautifully. Like that like slot guy who's going to be in motion. I literally place him in there. So, I mean, we'll see. Yeah.
I would go with the Bucks also in terms of wide receivers. I just think, I mean, that's going to be, if that is the matchup that we see in an NFC championship game or anything like that, that would be a tremendous game.
It's a first round matchup, 4-5.
No, but not for that. With the Rams receivers, Cooper Kupp has been playing amazing football. But like Robert Woods and Odell Beckham now, like, nah.
I think Cooper Kupp is one of the best receivers in the NFL, but I do think a lot. I know it sounds stupid. I think like a lot of times, like, never mind.
At what point does Odell blow up again when he doesn't get targets? Because this offense is super high powered, but he's not going to get the number one targets. That's Cooper Kupp. That's always going to be Cooper Kupp. Mm-hmm. He's going to get open more often. At some point, I think that comes back to backfire. If he gets cut, I wish there was a fucking prop bet on him getting cut before the end of the season. He shows up and just becomes a cancer, and they're like,
but LA is where he wanted to go. Remember, like he was. So maybe he'll just shut up. I mean, that's easy to say, but they never shut up.
There were rumors that he was going to New England.
Yeah.
Listen, if he plays for LA and he's getting them W's, he may keep quiet.
But
maybe
there was my friend is a Browns fan, and I know I actually know a Browns fan. He said one of the big issues was out there in Cleveland, because he still talks to people. There was like a somewhere they were mic'd up, and Nick Chubb like ran for a touchdown, and like they were winning the game, and Odell came to the end zone and was like, "Man, I need one of those." And Nick Chubb was like, "I don't care, we just scored." Something like that, you know what I mean? So he might be one of those dudes who needs his touches. I mean, receivers are divas. We know that.
Yep. Wholeheartedly.
He does seem to be the biggest one of all. I forget who said it on ESPN's broadcast before the game on Monday between the Steelers and the Bears. Somebody said that this is probably his last chance. I don't know if it's his last chance, but it's got to be towards the end of the line in terms of, like, he needs to figure it out, because he was a distraction for the Giants. He was a distraction for the Browns. The Browns offense actually did better without him. Yeah, than with him. And like 33% of his games played as a Brown, I think he recorded under 30 yards receiving. So, like, you're talking about like one of the worst receivers in the NFL, just a name guy, alone. But speaking of people with last chances, the last thing I wanted to talk about before we get to our picks is that Monday night game, and centered more around just how bad the officiating was, and in terms of Tony Correnti towards the end with that hip check on Cassius Marsh after that taunting penalty. That did not look like a taunting penalty. And then also throwing the flag in the air and keeping his hand up like he just hit a 3 in Game 7 of an NBA final. I think Tony Correnti should go away for a little bit. I mean, the officiating in the NFL is terrible anyway, and it's not going to stop anybody from watching. I mean, we're all going to continue to watch because we're gluttons for punishment. But terrible officiating, ruined a couple parlays for me, but overall pretty good week in the NFL when it comes to a sports betting standpoint. So
listen,
thoughts on the ref in that game?
As I guess as famous as cancel culture is, like, that's just, I don't know, NFL suspend him for a game or give him just like, hey, it was awful. You effed up.
Yeah. Let him ref like Jags, fucking the Dolphins. Put him in the background. Just like,
no more primetime games. Don't put your name. Don't put your name out there anymore. In the big spotlight.
This ain't the first time refs have been awful, bro. Come on, let's stop. Let's act like, oh, this is breaking news. The refs, come on.
There's also too many rules in the NFL, so sometimes it's not really the ref; it's the rules in place. Like, there's just too many. So like sometimes they're making the right call. The rule is just stupid. It's just like, but it's whatever. Refs do suck. Serves right. Nick, I do want to touch on one thing before you get to the pick.
No, wait, run that back. You read that repeat that? I hear you.
Sir's right, except when he tells you not to bet on basketball. But
we're talking about football here, goddamn.
I want to say, because I have been an advocate for Jordan Love. He did not play well. Not at all. He got way too much criticism by Aikman, way too much criticism over the weekend, and I think it had to do because it was on national TV. He played better than Mahomes. He outplayed Dak. He outplayed 3 other quarterbacks, but for some reason, this guy was way too criticized. And I think if they get that ball back, there's a chance they win that game. Do you think he was a little overly criticized with his game in Arrowhead, first game of the year, first game ever, and people are talking, he's not the one. He can't play in the NFL.
No, I guess you can't be too critical, but he was playing a defense that anybody and I think Sir could have played QB
right, but
and
Daniel
lit up
Jones
Kansas
only
City.
put up 17 points versus him the week prior.
Wait a minute, time out. First of all, I had him in my DFS lineup last week, but Kansas City's defense has been playing much improved football. They've allowed less than 30 now the last 4 games. You know what I'm saying? So
Scott says you need to allow less than 24.
I didn't.
All right.
I said that.
Come on, Sir.
Maybe the defense has found something. You know what I'm saying?
I just think they were even Aikman was a little rough on him, a little harsh on him in the game.
I think there's 2 points to that. I think the first point is, like you said, it was on national TV. But I think when you go from, as an organization, Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, I think there was going to be quick narrative because that's the storyline that's built in. He played terrible, so they were going to be ultra critical. But I guarantee you, if he threw for 3 touchdowns and beat the Chiefs, people would be saying, "Oh my God, the Green Bay Packers, they're going to go from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love." I mean, unbelievable. And it would have been hold on, it was one game.
We talk about how goddamn cold-blooded Kansas City is by putting the mom and the girlfriend in the last row of the upper deck. Yeah,
Also,
that is
y'all
ridiculous.
couldn't get mom's better seats. Watch the outside, bro.
If you watch that game, the offensive play caller, whoever it is, I'm not sure if LaFleur does it. He did nothing to help out Jordan Love. Kansas City was sending 7 every play. It was just a free-for-all. Call a screen. Do something. Call a QB draw at some point. Let the kid run. I watched him at Utah State. He's got legs. He can move. So I just think it was a combination of shit. And I sadly, if Rodgers is in that game, they probably win 38-10. So that just isn't. Maybe it's somewhere in between, though. Rodgers took 3 years. Not everyone's going to jump in and be that guy.
Sell your autograph. I mean, good luck holding on to it.
Sticking with it.
Scott, you want to do the quick recap and hit us with the theme music that's playing right now? I know you're not doing it right now, but it's playing right now. Why don't you give us a recap from last week, of which I did go 3-0.
Right. I don't have the actual picks for what everyone did, but right now, standings. Me, 15-11-1. Tim, 15-11-1, tied at the top. I went 0-3. Tim went 3-0. Sir went 1-2. He's 11-15-1. 4 games back, so he can't catch up this week. Nick jumps from 8-16 to 11-16 as he's on a roll now. But Tim 6-0 in the last 2 weeks, so it's going to be a tight race. We're bound for a last-second finish, I think. So those are the records.
All right, wait. Can I say one thing? Nick, you called me out this morning about giving my man some faulty advice, but yet you in last place. I don't want to hear from you, Mo. Talking about.
By the way, sir, I still don't have heat. So if you could say that stuff, that would be
No, absolutely not. You better freeze, Mo.
That's cold-blooded, sir.
Yeah, this is cold-blooded. You know what I'm saying? You got to talk about my picks. You in last place.
Nick, I'm gonna warm up for you, Mo.
Oh, absolutely. Let's go.
There you go. I'll kick it first. First game, Seattle at Green Bay. Green Bay laying 3.5. I'm taking that game. The biggest reason why there is because, and it does look like Russell Wilson's coming back. It also looks like Aaron Rodgers is coming back. If Russell Wilson didn't miss any time to injury, what do we think that this line would be? To me, I think it's a 3-point line regardless. And he did miss time. So what does that look like? So to me, I think Green Bay laying 3.5 is a good bet. Kansas City Chiefs and the Raiders. Kansas City, I believe I heard, I forget what I heard, and I think it was the radio while listening to WFAN. 4-16 in the last 20 bets against the spread. You know, everybody seems to continue to think, and the lines are made to where Kansas City is eventually going to snap out of it. But they haven't yet. I'm not going to bet the line per se in that game, but I am going to bet the under of 51.5, and I hate betting unders. But Kansas City is just not scoring a lot of points right now. Their offense looks lost. Las Vegas isn't a great offense by any stretch. At least they haven't looked it over the last couple of games. Derek Carr looks bad. Almost looks like they're dealing with some stuff off the Henry Ruggs situation. I know they just got Deshaun Jackson. Let's see what that looks like. Good move for them, in my opinion. Hashtag Homer. But I'm going to take the under on 51.5. And then lastly, I'm going to take Carolina getting 10.5. And there's a lot to this bet, but ultimately the biggest thing is there's just no, like, why is it 10.5? PJ Walker is going to be the quarterback. He's played a little bit. We don't know what that looks like. So where's that line come from? You know, Kyler Murray said Cam Newton's not playing this week. Kyler Murray, Matt Rule's already said that it's PJ Walker, XFL. You know, Kyler Murray is saying that he's feeling pretty good, but did not practice today. Neither did DeAndre Hopkins, and neither did Rondell Moore. So, you know, even though AJ Green is back, there's just a lot of variables that make me question why this matchup is a double-digit and a half, 10.5 line. So I'm going to take Carolina plus 10.5. I'm going to take the under on Kansas City and the Vegas Raiders, and I'm going to take Green Bay laying 3.5. Tim, why don't you go next?
I will go next. And the reason why I think it's 10.5, just to play devil's advocate, is because that same team who didn't have anyone at quarterback beat what I thought was a very good 49er team, which just laid an egg. So I assume that's why the line is so big, because Carolina's way worse than the Niners, in my opinion. But listen, 10.5 is a lot of points in with the
that's
teams
fine.
that aren't at their best.
We knew the offense of the 49ers at the very least. We knew what they were going in with. Nobody knows PJ Walker, so it just seems to me like it's a little bit of like a panic line, I guess I would say.
Yeah,
I mean, Arizona might win by 20,
and they very well could. I'll go. I got two against the spread. I got one over under. So let's go with the one that's going to make me the maddest. All right, give me the Bills minus 11 against my Jets. If there is never a better get-right game, it's to play a divisional game against the Jets after losing a game you should not have lost. The amount that the Bills must just be fuming inside is probably at an all-time high. They have a chance to get the number one seed in AFC. They have a chance to, you know, get home field advantage throughout, and, you know, you let a game slip like that where Josh Allen didn't play very well. The best thing to come to is a Jets defense that can't stop anybody at all. And the Bills, if it was 14, maybe if it's 14.5, I would take the Jets. I'm not sold on Mike White. I don't know if he's healthy. I don't know if he starts the game and gets injured, and then and they already said Joe Flacco's the backup. So now you're looking at Flacco coming in instead of Josh Johnson, and Josh Johnson looked, you know, relatively good when Indy played prevent us from winning the game defense at the end of the game, where somehow they almost covered of being down fucking 30 points. Doesn't matter. Buffalo's going to just wipe the floor with the Jets. Now makes her upset. Give me the Rams minus 3.5 against the Niners. Listen, San Francisco, they couldn't show up to a game against Arizona with no QB, no receiver. Like, they couldn't do anything. Now you're playing an offense that's only going to get better. I don't care the Odell Beckham thing. He could sit a game out and just learn how to win again, because that's all he cares about. So sit on the bench and let your team win and see how they do. 3.5. It should be 7.
Wait, it's 3.5. I think was it a 4.5?
Oh, when I looked at it, it was 3.5. So if it's 4.5,
I think it's 4.5.
Even better to me. You could put it at, if it's at 4.5 for you. Earlier today when I looked at noontime, it was 3.5.
All right.
I'll let Scott decide what gets picked.
3.5. Yeah, I trust you.
I would never ever lie to you guys. And my last pick is the Browns and the Pats over 46. Patriots have scored 24 points in 5 straight games. The Browns are coming off their Odell, let's get rid of him. All of a sudden, I don't have to force the ball to him or even look his way. Now I'm just going to throw to the open receiver. I'm going to use my running backs the way I should. I don't care if Nick Chubb is not playing. Ernest Johnson, plug him in the lineup. He looked amazing last time I did that. It's more about that offensive line. That offensive line pushes people around, and they make it easy on the whole rest of their offense. I'm going to go over 46. And those are my 3 picks.
All right, I'll go. I'll leave the champ for first or whatever. All right, first game. Let me get the Colts -10 against the Jags. Listen, the only reason why this number is 10 is because the Jags won last week against the Bills. Trevor Lawrence is banged up. James Robinson is banged up. Jonathan Taylor's going to run all over these boys. -10, give me that. Second one. Sir, I'm betting on your boys. Give me Jets Bills over 47.5. Just have it over in 5 straight games. And the Bills were rolling. The Bills' offense was rolling until last week when they only scored 6 points. But let's forget about that. You know what I'm saying? It happens. They were looking ahead to the Jets this week. You know what I'm saying? Division game, looking ahead. Jags, whatever. And third game, sir. Monday Night Football. I got to bet too. Listen, Shanahan is against McVay. He's got his number. And Shanahan also, home favorite, terrible. Terrible as a home favorite. But as a home dog, well played. With that being said, give me over 49. Sanford has 3 straight overs since Jimmy G has returned, and I'm pretty sure you bet all 3. And also, the Rams, they can put up some points. Now, listen, Sanford, you let my man Colt McCoy cook you. I'm a little worried about that Stafford might cook you as well, because y'all can't stop anybody at quarterback right now. It's sad, but it's the truth. So give me over 49 on Monday night. Honorable mention though, Minnesota Chargers over, but more on that later.
Yeah, so this is cool again because no one has the same picks, it looks like. So we're all going to be rooting for different stuff. First, I'm going to start with the Chargers-Vikings. I'm going to go with the Chargers -3. This will probably end in a tie just because they'll win 27-24. No real reason. I just don't think the Vikings are that good. They probably bursted their bubble versus the Ravens. They're going to come back to reality on the road. Second one, Nick, you mentioned Kansas City keeps getting these lines, -2.5. They lost to Vegas earlier in Kansas City. I like them to at least win by a field goal here. I think that's, they're begging you to take the Chiefs, and I'm doing it because I'm a sucker. So I'm going to take them -2.5 in Vegas. And the last,
didn't the Raiders beat them last year too?
Yeah, they did. So, but I think the Chiefs are going to get on a roll here, man, which sucks because the Cowboys play them next week. I think this is a team that if they get into the playoffs, no one wants to play them. I mean, they got an elite quarterback. That's a tough game if you play them. I'm also going to go with Denver -2.5. They just beat the crap out of Dallas in Dallas. The game could have been 30-0. Let's be honest. They got garbage touchdowns. They're only 2.5-point favorite back at home versus an Eagle team that's 3-6. The Eagles have lost 3 straight games in Denver. They don't play there too well. I don't know why this is so low, which once again, they're begging me and I'm a sucker, so I'm going to do it. But you're telling me they can't win 17-13, 2017. So yeah, Denver -2.5, Chiefs -2.5, and the Chargers -3. No underdogs here. No underdogs, which I'm usually a sucker for. So
You've learned from your losing ways, Scott.
Oh, yeah, I'm done betting for the Niners. They suck. I'm done betting against Belichick because Sam Darnold stinks on ice. I am done I'm done outsmarting myself. I'm
exactly.
done with
Just don't bet the Niners when they're a favorite, all right? Just think they're underdogs.
You didn't even have the balls to take them. You took the over, sir. Don't tell me.
Yeah, absolutely. You're damn right. You took the over. Points going to be scored, Mo. God damn it.
Sure, I honestly, if you were going to pick the Niners, there was going to be a donkey dollar bet on the game. But then I was going to double it down and say there was going to be a donkey dollar on who won more games in darts on Monday because your ass ain't paying attention to darts. You're going to be watching that game. You'll be like, sir, it's your turn to shoot.
Guys,
let's go.
I feel a 12-0 week coming. for all of us. I do.
Yeah.
12-0
Oh.
week.
All right. So take our 12 picks, put a donkey dollar on it, parlay it.
Doing it.
Gosh,
I'll do it.
House.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Fuck it.
You guys want to go to DFS?
Sure.
So I didn't do so good last week. I definitely had Jordan Love, 4,400. Just seems like a terrible price for a quarterback.
Well, Nick, to that point, I told you, don't take the cheap quarterback. Because I did that. Trey Lance's first start. I was like, 4,400 for a starting quarterback? Easy money. Not easy money.
Mm-mm.
No, not easy at all. Sir, why don't you kick it first?
Sorry, you're reigning, defending SBDFS champion. Sir, you got to announce him as via his correct name. Nick.
Sorry, my audio is not working. Sir, why don't you go ahead?
So, yeah, as your reigning, defending champ, because, it's you know how we do. So, I'm going to stick with last week.
You're very choppy. I can't hear.
That's your Wi-Fi, though, Nick.
So, last week, I decided to pick on the Vikings and it worked for me. With Lamar, Hollywood didn't do all right, but Lamar did his thing. So, Chargers, I'm coming right back. Oh, sorry, Vikings, I'm coming right back at you. Let me get Justin Herbert at 7,300 against those same Vikings. But Justin Herbert's been balling right now. I'm saying he has double-digit 2 touchdowns in I think 5 games this season. He's been playing big time. I'm gonna pair him with. All right, I wanted to pair him with Keenan Allen, but Keenan Allen's status shaky at best. So I'm gonna pair him with Mike Williams at 6,600. I know he's been struggling the last 3 games. I understand it, but before that brother was cooking. This is his get right game. Mark it down. Bet all the props on Mike Williams. I know I just cursed him, but whatever. So bet all the Mike Williams props. He's going to have a big game this week against those same Minnesota Vikings. I know. I also paired him at running back with Mr. Austin Eckler, 7,600. Austin Eckler might as well be a wide receiver. Has many targets as he sees per game. And he sees the ball out of the backfield. So, I see them putting up some numbers in this game. So 7,600 for Austin Eckler. Running back 2. I went to this dude last week, and I told you he was going to kill my boys, and he did. Give me James Conner, 6,300. Listen, he was getting 50% of the snaps with Chase Edmonds. Chase Edmonds went down. Now he's seeing 80% at 6,300. That's pretty cheap. After he dropped a 40 burger on my boys, so give me James Conner. Wide receiver 2. Give me Michael Pittman Jr. 6,300. He's been putting up big time numbers, and the Jags secondary suspect. So, give me Michael Pittman. At wide receiver 3, give me the young boy, Jerry Jeudy, 5,300. His snap count is increasing ever since his injury. So, I don't know what happened to Cortland Sutton. I don't know if Theodore said I don't like you no more. Give me this new toy right here. But ever since Jeudy's been back, he's been looking his way. So, give me him. Tight end, I did him last week again. Mr. Conklin at 3,400. 5 receptions in back-to-back games. Hopefully he could find the end zone. But at 3,400, so it's a good value. At the flex, now this is like you mentioned this before. Give me Dearness Johnson, 4,700. This is only if Nick Chubb doesn't play because of COVID. If he plays, I may switch it off to somebody. I'm going to have to switch to somebody else. But as of right now, give me Dearness Johnson. Backup plan, keep an eye on Alvin Kamara's status. Mark Ingram, 4,500 if no Kamara. And a defense, give me a cheap one. Give me the Carolina Panthers at 2,400. They average 6.9 fantasy points per game, which is more than the Steelers, who is the most expensive defense on this slate. So the Panthers, 2,400. I like that.
I think that's fair. Tim, what do you got?
All right, I'm going to start by piggybacking on one of Sir's last picks. In the flex, I have Dearness Johnson at 4,700. Same reasons. If he's starting, he's $4,700. Super cheap. If Chubb plays, scrap this part of the lineup. We got to make some moves. We'll go right to the quarterback position. Here it is, Scott. Matt Ryan versus your Dallas Cowboys. I say, yeah, it's so stupid. Boomer bust, right? Dallas will give up. Like, he might throw 2 interceptions, but he's going to throw 3 touchdowns. Your defense is bad. It's bad. It's not good. He's thrown 2 touchdowns in 4 out of 5 games.
Bad.
It's not playing well. They didn't look too good last week against fucking Teddy Two Gloves.
No, whatever. Just you'll regret this, but go on.
Relax. At the running back position, give me Corduroy Patterson against the Dallas Cowboys. It doesn't matter that he's a running back. You might call him Austin Eckler. That motherfucker's going to catch balls and score touchdowns. That's all he does. We'll pick on another fucking terrible defense. Give me Zach Moss against the New York Jets. Oh, any running back is going to score on the Jets. Did you see Thursday Night Football? God damn, it was brutal. It's going to be bad. For 5,100, give me Zach Moss at the running back spot. Let me skip to the tight end position, who the Jets also can't cover. If Dawson Knox is healthy, 4,500, he's got 5 touchdowns on the season already. He's missed 2 games and still has 5 TDs. Just Jets aren't very good against the tight end statistically. And, yeah, that's an easy check down for a quarterback who hasn't played very well in his last game. I'll take Dawson Knox. I'll go to the defense and then leave my high-powered wide receivers for last. Give me the Seahawks for, I think they're 2,500 against Green Bay. Hopefully, Aaron Rodgers doesn't play. There's a chance. I might have to move these teams around a little bit, whether it's defense or flex or, taking out one of these wide receivers and mixing it up. But for right now,
what are they? 2,500?
Yeah, give me the Seahawks.
No,
2,500.
you can switch them and put Carolina at 2,400. You got you.
Or you could just put Dallas in and fuck your whole lineup up.
Why would I want to lose by putting Dallas in? Either way, you want me to put Dallas in? I'm going to put Dallas in for you, Scott. Here it goes. Give me CeeDee Lamb at wide receiver number 1. $7K against Atlanta. Dak is not going to miss this dude wide open twice for touchdowns in another game. I think he's scoring 2 touchdowns. I should probably bet that over now that I fucking think about it. I got all their offenses in the game. Wide receiver 2, Mike Evans, 6,900 against Washington. He might be the only healthy receiver on the squad. He might be the only guy catching balls from Tom Brady. I don't know who's going to be healthy. No one does. Right now, Mike Evans is wide receiver 1. I'm taking Mike Evans at 6,900. And, sir, I should have said this before. Wide receiver 3, I told you on the way to Darts to trade for this boy in every single league. But I didn't in any. But Michael Pittman Jr. at 6,200 against Jacksonville. Carson Wentz's new favorite friend, throwing touchdowns all over the place. Michael Pittman's catching them. I'm taking him at wide receiver 3.
I had him in my lineup too, little boy. It's a good pick.
I know. I wanted to say that before.
Double jinx. Don't
skipped
do it.
around.
I'll go really quick, Nick. All right, I'm going to start off. I don't really do this. I'm going with Dak, 6,900. I think he's going to bounce back. I think Cowboys put up 35 points against Atlanta. Running back, I've been riding with him since last year. Jonathan Taylor, 8,100.
Oh, wait. Time out for 1 second. Who got you on the Jonathan Taylor trade? I opened the door and was like, come on in.
I think I pick him every week, honestly.
I got you. I opened the door for you, kid. I was like, come on in. I'm
going to go with James Conner as well, 6,300. If McCoy plays again, why not? I'm going to match up Dak with Cooper, 6,200, just for cheaper purposes. It could be Cooper or Lamb. Who the hell knows? You asked what happened to Cortland Sutton. Pat Moore happened to Cortland Sutton. So I'm going with Patrick Moore to carry on. Last week, he killed Dallas. Why not? Bridgewater seems to have something with him. 4,700 for Tim Patrick. Sorry about that. Tim Patrick, 4,900. But I'm back.
You out here making up players, old boy?
Back to Moore, Elijah Moore. I'm going with 4,700. There we go. With the Jets, 2 touchdowns last week. White has come in. It seems like that's the guy he goes to. Why not? Cheap. Flex, Fournette, 6,100. If he's playing, I think he is. Sticking with Freiermuth, 3,900 tight end. Big Ben, and 2 touchdowns to him. Just keep it going. And the Chargers, 2,900 defense. Also, Tim, you're being way too harsh on the Dallas defense. Way too harsh. They're not great, but a little way too harsh.
I said boomer bust. I did.
Right, well,
They'll get their takeaways, but then they'll be like, "There's the end zone."
Trayvon Diggs
Just
might
go that way.
up, and then on the next play, give up a
you
touchdown.
pretty much just described the whole NFL, but whatever.
Yeah, but it's just very pronounced with your team. That's all.
Yeah, cool.
It's amazing how similar, yet not similar at all, my team is to Tim's for a lot of the same reasons, but just totally different. So I'll start at
I
quarterback.
would never
Dak
know.
Prescott, 6,900. That game over under point total 55. So there's going to be a lot of points scored. For that reason alone, give me Ezekiel Elliott at 7,000. I also took Dearness Johnson at 4,700. Obviously subject to change. I like the idea of Ingram in his place at the price point that he's at, that Sir made. Give me A.J. Brown, 7,800, 11 targets last week. Continues, or at least I think will continue to be a big focal point of that offense without Derrick Henry. You went CeeDee Lamb. I'm going Amari Cooper. I know he's been banged up, but how low is too low for the amount of money? 6,200 for a number one wide receiver. Scott, is Gallup coming back this week? Is it still not sure?
If he is, he'll probably, be on one of those pitch count things,
So if he comes back, I think it only helps Amari Cooper's case because then you have more people to open up the field. And I just think Amari Cooper is just a super talented receiver. Tim, you and Mike Evans referenced who do they have that's healthy. I'm taking Tyler Johnson, 3,300 for who's healthy. We don't know Godwin's status. It doesn't look like Antonio Brown's playing. Well, we could say Antonio Brown's not playing. Gronk doesn't look to be playing. Tyler Johnson got 10 fantasy points last week. If he's lined up on the other side of Evans with the Washington football team's defense at 3,300, all I need is 10 points. Anything more than that is icing on the cake. So for 3,300, I just think that's an easy pick. You referenced picking a tight end that abuses defenses. I'm taking Noah Fant because Philadelphia's defense is terrible, but they're really bad against the tight end. Because of that, I have a lot of money at flex, so I'm taking Austin Eckler, who looks like a focal point of that offense, and then give me the Jacksonville Jaguars defense at 2,200 against Indianapolis. Going low on defenses, they did pretty well with, Allen. So I just think that, Carson Wentz is always good for a pick or two. And then you never know if he gets hurt, who comes in his place and what happens there. So I just like Jacksonville's defense in that spot at the price point 2,200. That's my lineup.
Not mad at you. We have the same reasons. We just have different teams.
Yeah. Well, I think a stack this week, it's never a bad formula to at least stack 3 to 4 of your players off the highest point totals, because if Vegas thinks there's going to be a lot of points scored, then there probably is. And if there is, and you're taking 4 guys, you're all of a sudden in tournament fields opening up to the potential of getting a lot of points. And to me, I'm hoping that a lot of people stay off of Dak Prescott off of his last game. And that he's not super chalky or anything like that. So that's the reason for taking him. I think Matt Ryan fine pick, because he said, even though I think Dallas is going to beat him by double-digit points, it's fantasy. You don't need a W. You just need 2 touchdowns and 300 yards and justify the amount of money you're spending on that quarterback. So,
Nick, to your point, though, if you stack a game and you put say 3 or 4 players in the same game, it's a lot easier to get say a couple things right than if your whole lineup is from different games to get what is it? 8 people in a lineup, 8 things right. Last time I checked, 4 is less than 8, so it's a lot easier. So stack a game and hope for the best. You either lose or you win. You're either gonna win some money or you probably come in last if you go for a bunch of different games. So
would you guys start running back 2? Would you start Mark Ingram or Le'Veon Bell?
Mark Ingram.
Is Kamara playing? That's the question, though.
What if he is?
If he's not playing, I would go Le'Veon Bell.
It's
if
tough because it's a Thursday night game. The game's
absolutely. I'm with you, but that's tough. That's a tough one.
I think I'm taking Mark Ingram.
Le'Veon's still been getting. With Ingram, even Ingram's still been getting love, but
yeah,
that's tough.
I would wait because even if he does,
but But you can't wait because Le'Veon's playing tonight.
I understand. There's got to be somebody besides Le'Veon Bell that you could pick up off a waiver. If you, heaven forbid, needed to start a second running back, there has to be
I have
somebody.
Le'Veon Bell or Mark Ingram.
I understand that.
Oh,
Here's-
No, it's not. It's a
here's
16
to Tim's
league.
point.
Well, okay. Well, then
Yeah.
that's fully changes
16
things.
league. There's nobody I can pick up.
Well, then I
You
would
don't have
think,
anybody on your bench.
Start Le'Veon.
yeah, then I would take the guarantee start. Then Le'Veon's going to get a touch or two. Just hope it's a touchdown.
We'll
He
see
scored a
how-
touchdown in two
I
of
don't
the
wanna
last three
spoil
games.
anything, but that
if
might
you
be
wanna-
one of my props.
Mm.
Then again, it's
What,
me. You
what
know?
other
Don't-
bench
don't listen to
options?
me.
do you have?
What's up, Nick?
What other bench
What
options
other-
do you have?
What other bench options do you have?
No other running back at the moment.
Those are the
Yeah.
only two running backs on the entire team.
Oh, Jonathan Taylor is my starting running back, and
Yeah,
then
that doesn't count.
Le'Veon Bell and Mark Ingram. That's it.
I
start
think
two?
Yeah, only
Yes, you
two.
have
No
to start
flex.
two.
No
No, I mean,
flex league. No
Oh, no
flex.
flex?
league.
Oh,
No.
all right.
It's standard. It's old school, man. One quarterback, two running backs, three wide receivers, tight end, kicker, defense. It's like 06 this league's been going on.
Sir, you need to get out of this league, Mo.
No,
all right?
man, we've been doing it for 15
Come
years.
to the
Same
2000s, Mo.
people. So I'll probably do Bell just because I'm
the door for the modern times.
I'll probably do Bell because I'm impatient and I'd like to have someone in the game tonight while I watch. So.
Not a bad choice.
No, I would go Le'Veon.
All right. Thank you.